Hi, good morning. Hope you can able to see my screen, okay? Right? And today we are going to discuss about one important topic, and which is I automated the process recently. That is check file automation process, check file process. Okay, how we are going to do the check file automation? Okay, and what are the prerequisites for this? Okay, what is the functional side or design and all those things, and the technical side and details also we'll discuss it. Okay, hopefully in this session I am try to cover for the functional aspect on this requirement. Okay, and next session I will show you how the technical aspect will be come into the picture. Okay, what are the key considerations need to be uh, taking care for that. Okay, those are all the points we'll discuss in a further session. Okay, let's go to the next slide. This is the agenda. In the agenda, first point we are going to discuss about the business requirement overview. What is the business requirement? How we are going to achieve this requirement, and all those things. And design a check file automation process. How we design the check file automation process, and testing and deployment, and monitoring and maintenance activities. Okay, these are the four major agenda points for this meeting. Okay, I will try to elaborate more on this in further slides. Okay, hope you are clear about the agenda. Okay, I'm moving to next slide. This is a business requirement overview. What is a business requirement? How the check file automation is happen initially. We'll go for another slide. See, in this slide, I'm going to explain the business perspective uh, analysis in the 4 points. Okay, first, as per the current business requirements, we propose the implementing a check file automation process, streamline and enhance the efficiency of check payment tracking. What does the business requirement mean? See here, basically, let me open my Excel file. We'll discuss into more on that. What business is trying to expecting, and how we are going to arrive that one. See, for example, normally in general we are sending a we have a checks, right? We are sending a banks to the checks. Okay. For example, you have sent a check transaction to the bank on first 12 2025. Okay, on this date you send a one check transaction to the bank to do the payment, to do the payment, right? When on the same day, on the same day. But in some time, the check payment will be delay from the bank side. Okay, and the payment is made by the bank on next day, not in the same day. Next day means that is a 0 to 12 2022. Okay, there is a check payment delay from the bank side. We send the checks to the check transaction to the bank. It is not done the same day. It is due to some another reasons. The bank side check payment is got delayed from their side. Okay, due to existing transactions or something closing impact and all the basic and some additional criterias. Uh, the payment is happen from the bank side on next day, following day. Okay, And now here, user, how can I know that check is payment is happen or not? User, how can he knows about the payment status? Okay. Actually, user logging into the bank accounts, bank portal, bank account, and then he will cross check the check number. Okay. He will cross check the check number, and if check number is available, if check number is available, then he going to he going to consider the check is got paid by bank or to 2025. Okay, on this date he will make sure he will cross check on all the details, and he will check the statement, and he find the transaction, the related check number is got paid on to 12 2025. Okay, this is the process right now is happening into the system. See, this process, it is a time taking and it is a delay process. Maybe sometimes user forget about the tracking this all those things. He may check in a month in time, and he is not pass on the information properly to the suppliers, okay, or customers when we receive the checks, or when we pay to the checks related transactions, and there is a communication gap on immediate basis. It is not happen on the same day. Okay, at the same time he is not processing the entries in the system on the same day. It is delaying due to some other reasons. Okay, this is this is the business issue, and this is the business requirement, and we tackled here to do the to overcome this all the process. We taken a consideration, and we are going to do the automation of the check process. How we are going to do the automation? I think you understand what business is expecting. Okay, now this process I'm going to fix into the system, and I will show you another further slides how I did it and all the process. Okay, and here basing on a business requirement, we understand that we implementation of a check file automation and streamline the enhancements, enhance and efficiency of check payment tracking. Okay. Currently, once check payment is issued, is sent to the bank for clearance. The bank may take some time to process and clear the check. However, there is no automated update file available regarding the check clearing status. It's a manual process in the existing system. As a result, users are required to manually log into the bank portal and verify whether the check status has been paid or not. Okay. In this case, this is a manual verification process, and it is a time-consuming process. In many cases, user may forget to check the payment status, leading to delay and need for follow-up of upstream business sites. Clear? And now, to address this all the challenges, improve the operational efficiency, and we recommend it to implement the check file automation. These solutions timely check the status and reduce the manual efforts and minimize the risk of the missed verifications. Okay. Basically, this is the requirement we tackle, and we are going to automate the process. These are all the points. Okay. I hope it is clear for you, which is the points I mentioned here. Okay. And this process, how we tackle it, and we are going to discuss in a further slides. Design the check file automation process, functional and technical side. What is the design and how we are going to discuss how we design for the technical side and the functional issues and how we tackled it. Okay. Here, design the check file. This is the functional requirement. The paid check file needs to be loaded into SAP system by using the program. This program, or you can able to use the transaction FCKR is a transaction. FCKR transaction against this is the program for that standard program. Okay. However, the standard SAP program requires several mandatory fields, including a bank key, account number, currency, check number, amount, encashment. Encashment date is nothing but when the check is got paid from the bank side. Okay. Until this, you have any questions? Now we are going to discuss about some points related to we analyzed these all the points from the SAP perspective. Now we are going to thinking about the process for the bank side. Unfortunately, the file provided by the bank that does not contains the required data. For example, bank key and account numbers are missing in the bank provided file, which is the txt file. Actually, this is external discussion. It's when we discuss this requirement to the bank. A bank also agreed to share that check file related information to us. Okay, in the check file information, we don't have a bank key and bank account number. But as per the standard SAP program and the standard SAP transaction, basically it is required for the bank key, bank account number fields are most important to process the file into system automatically as per the standard program. Here, we gone through the bank provided file and we verified our standard SAP program and bank provided file and SAP standard program. We have one common field that is called check number. Okay, even bank provided file and our SAP system program, we have one common field that is check number. And at the same time, which is the bank provided file format that is not suitable for the SAP standard program format. Okay, here we have a constraint in the file format as well. And we considered the separate custom program for that to convert the SAP given bank given file into the SAP program required format. How we consider it, how we uh, manipulated the bank provided file, we can see in a further slides. Okay, until this slide, you have any questions? We can discuss. Okay, I'm moving to next slide. This is the major designation of the file. Here you can see upon once receiving the bank file, okay, we receive the bank file. It contains of are first stored in the designated custom program. Okay, we have created one custom program. The custom program it is stored. The unnecessary data is then extracted and cross verified using the SAP standard tables. Okay, the necessary data is then extracted and cross verified using the SAP standard tables, that is PAYR. The check information. Basically, when we receive the bank provided file, okay, the bank receive provided file, we have a check number, right? The check number we process it to the check information table, that is a PAYR table. And we are getting the status like the check is a clear status or not clear status. Okay, in the further slide, further discussion when I shown in the system, I will show you where how system is going to know for that is a check is got paid or check is not paid status information. That is further sessions I will explain you. Let's discuss about the functional overview on this one in this session. Okay. Basing on that information, we can able to get it a house bank and account ID basically. For one house bank, you have only one check number, right? Account ID. Basing on that, we are passing into the T012 table, house banks, and T012K bank accounts. I'm going to get the house bank related information on T012. T012K, I'm going to get the bank account number. After the validation, the data is processed through the SAP standard program, or this transaction code, which verifies the check number and amount. Once confirmed, the system automatically posts the corresponding accounting entries, the paid checks. Okay. Once confirmed, the system automatically posts the corresponding accounting entries for the paid checks. Okay, system will be verified. Where it will be verified? In a PAYR table, it will be verified the check information. The check is a open status or cleared status, it will be verified. And T012 to T012K, we are going to consider some information like a house bank and account ID information, bank key related informations, and all those things. Basing on that, system will be verified and it will be processed into the entries into system. Okay. And this here next point is bank file data needs to be identified the check number, amount, and paid date. Which is the bank we received the file from the bank, right? Okay. In this file, we are going to identify. I will highlight it here. It is check number, amount, paid date. Means these are the most three fields we are considering from the bank. Reason is the check number which is provided by the bank and the amount, how much amount got paid from the bank side, when it is got paid. Okay, that information basically we required it. Basically, these three major important role will be placed while processing the checks. Okay. Additionally, relevant data should be retrieved from the relevant data. Okay. Relevant data means what is relevant data? As per SAP standard program, we need some additional parameters. We have that program related structures. I will show you in the further slides. Okay. That program related data T012K, T012, and PAYR tables. These are the three tables. We have some data. Okay, basing on a program, it is required some additional information in for previous slides. I am already shown you, right? That information it is necessary. Okay, the newly generated file will be loaded into SAP standard program. The newly generated file. Okay, means with this all the information, the system custom program is converted into one new file. This is the newly generated file. Will be loaded into SAP standard program via transaction code FCKR or need to copy the existing program and do the modification. If you are not creating your customized program, do the copy for the existing program here and do which are the modifications if necessary. After the file is loaded, the system will be updated the encashment date. Encashment date is nothing but your paid date. When the check is got paid and all the information, it will be considered here. For the respective checks and post the corresponding accounting documents, which are it's not only one check, it's a multiple checks is going to be involved in the bank provided file. Okay. And then system automatically clears the open line items. Once it is validated the transactions, everything is in a open status. If it is not in a clear transactions, then system will be clear. All the checks, all the open checks will be cleared. See here, which is the file we received it from the bank. Just we are validating the file. and we are considering some check related information and amount and the date tables, and basing on a standard program which is the data is necessary, that data we are just cross checking and we are taking into considerations. Okay, and then now we are transferring the data into SAP system. SAP system, that file process and all those things. I hope you are clear about this all the things. Okay, now let me go through the next slide. See, this is the check file process. In the here we have a technical information here. This is basically a technical information. In the technical information, I am going to help you about the what is the basic information. It's a technical information in the bank provided file. We need to extract the following details, following data. That is check number and the paying company code, which is the company code that is 2000 or 1000. Retrieve house bank account ID. Use the check number and paying company code to query in the table, PAYR table. Get the house bank ID and account number. Okay, these two details are most important from the PAYR table we are controlling. And retrieve bank key. Pass company code BUKRS and a house bank ID into T012 table and get the bank key. It's important. Retrieve bank account number. Okay, how we are going to retrieve bank account number? Pass the BUKRS, house bank ID and account ID table T012K and get the bank account number. These are the few fields is the most important to process the file into SAP system. Reason is the SAP standard structure. It is expecting these all the informations. Okay. For that reason, we consider this all the information. Initially, the technical information check number. This check number is provided by the bank, and at the same time, same check number is available in our system as well. Reason is we are sending the checks, right? Or we are receiving the checks. Same check number will be available in the system. Then only we can able to clear the checks automatically for the process. You have any questions? Okay, let me know you have any questions. We can discuss on this. If you don't have any questions, I'm moving to another slide. That is testing and deploying. Testing. I want to share some process and key validation related to the check file update in the transaction for an FCKR. Okay, FCKR transaction, how we are processing the file status. After manually updating the check file in FCKR, system provides the file status into detailed explanation about the checks related information. Okay, manual process level. Here, when we are going to check validation, verify the check is encashed or not. When we do the automation, initial step is check is going to do the program is going to validate the check is encashed or not. If it not encashed, then the check number will be available in a PAYR table. Even though if it is encashed also, check is available, but it will not process encashed checks. Okay, if it is not encashed, means it is not paid. The status, encashment status, check paid status is not available. Then only system will be considered to the do the payment for that check. If check is already paid, the system will prevent the duplicate postings. Even by standard functionality, if the check is already paid, to reprocess the same check number is not possible. We need to delete the encashment date, and we need to reprocess the checks. And parallelly, we need to delete the reverse the existing clear transaction. Then only system will be processed for the additional entry. Otherwise, it is not possible. Okay, system will be prevent duplicate posting, which has account as a control. This is a by default the system is providing this functionality. It is not necessary to write any specific logic to the program. Okay, and value date validation. Ensure that value date encashment date is updated correctly. The reason is this is the most important thing for the business prospect. Reason is when the check is got cleared from the bank side, okay, they have to update into the document. That is a clearing transaction date, right? That is important. If not updated, it will causes the issues since the business relies on the accurate clearing dates. Accurate clearing dates. As a consultant, is a clearing is not a big task for us. But when you think about a business perspective, when the clearing is happen, the clearing date has to be in accurate, correct date. If the date is not incorrect, then when cross-checking the closing balance of the bank accounts, it will be different. Okay. Custom program file conversion. Validate that the custom program converts the file into system required format. SAP bank provided file will be converted into SAP system required format. Pay special attention to decimal formatting. Okay, the decimal formatting, it's a major concern. Actually, while doing the automation, initially it is going to work properly. There is no issues, but some documents by providing the bank itself, the decimal is missing. In that case, the decimal formatting issues got it, and then we had some additional different logic for that, and we implemented that logic, and we overrated that issue, decimal issue. Missing decimals will prevent the automatic clearing and require a manual intervention. If a decimals are missing, the amount value, the total amount of the uh, given value into the bank provided file and the SAP system recorded value is a different. There is a mismatch. Then system will be not processed those files into those transactions into system automatically. That is manual intervention is needed from the business user side. They have to cross check it. They have to process the checks once again for that. Okay, this is a batch input session will be created for that once again. That batch input session transaction, it will be processed once again. Okay. Until this, you have any questions? I hope it is clear for you. Okay, now I'm moving to next to further slide. It's a monitoring process, how it is working and all those things. Please ensure following activities are performed as part of checks clearing checks. Okay. Initially, which is the background job we created for this process. Okay. We asked to the business to check in on a regular basis, continuously monitor the background job, ensure a smooth execution. Okay. If any checks fails, promptly investigate and identify the root cause for the failure. Okay, initially it's most important reason is what is the a reason for failing the jobs and all those things. Maybe sometimes which is the we not discussed that points into different scenarios also will be common to the file. Okay, for that reason we requested the business to monitor regular basis. Even that we also monitor the jobs and regularly in initial once it is deployed into the program. And month end time, we seen some failures. It's the most important. It's a common job for fail during the month end closing. Why it is got closed month end during closing it is got failed? Due to the pending checks from the previous periods. In the month end time, the checks is not cleared properly from the previous months. Okay, and the books got closed. These checks is received on next month, but the clearing date is in a previous month only. These cases require special attention to avoid delays in a clearing process. Reason is if the clearing date is in a previous month, the books has got closed and you a system got run the back job automatically, and here that kind of checks will be not processed. A reason is that posting period issue it will become. And we mentioned to the clearly, especially these cases, to the business users, they have to manually process the jobs which is automatically created the jobs. That is a manual batch process. Okay, when such failures are occurs, the system automatically creates batch input session. Okay, whenever the checks details and everything is got clear, then system will not able to post the accounting entry. That time system will automatically create a batch input session. This session must be processed manually to complete the clearing process. To complete the clearing process. There is no other way. This is user has to be taken care, and user has to follow up this all the activities. It leads to be another issue otherwise. It will be not processed on immediate basis. Okay. The closing balance and all those things will be issues will be come into picture. I hope it is clear for you. You have any questions? We'll discuss. Okay. Thank you. I will explain you on further slide next session about the technical information, how we are going to analyze and what is the standard program structure. It is a standard program structure we are not going to see in SC16. It is SC11 level we are going to store, how we are going to prepare the file and all those things. Okay. If you have any questions, we can discuss.